Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different related to bullet journaling. I know I already have 2 June bullet journaling videos out, and that was using these 2 books. You can go check those videos out if you'd like. I did a lot of practice in these books. I really have been practicing a lot since I've uploaded those 2 videos. So today I want to talk to you about supplies. I also want to give you some really good tips, and I also want to show you my setup. So we're going to start with the setup just so you can see my progress, just in case you have seen my last couple of videos. But this is the 1917 Leuchtturm, I want to say. I really don't know how to pronounce it. I really apologize, and I will get better with that. But this is the olive green kind. I bought it on Amazon, and I will link it down below in case you're interested. It is the most popular bullet journaling notebook that is on the market. I see it all the time in videos and also on Instagram. These books, these are the North books. Here's the brand right here. This is really affordable, and honestly they do remind me of the Moleskine, just the way that the notebooks are put together, as well as just the texture of the pages and such. I like these for the price. You get a 3-pack for under $15. I thought they were great for practice, and I will continue to use those for practice, but this, I really do see what all the fuss is about. It comes with a couple papers that I have here in the back that I haven't really looked at. It's just like labels, and you get this pocket in the back, which I think is really awesome. You can check out the reviews if you want more information. I don't want to get too much into that because there are videos just dedicated to comparing notebooks. But the point is, I really like the paper. It is thinner and it does show through if you write really dark with bold ink or markers on these pages, then it will show through a little bit, and I'll show you that as I go through the setup. But other than that, I really do think that these are nice, and I'm really picky when it comes to paper, so that tells you something. So this comes with the index already in the book, which I really like. There's plenty of room to keep track of your table of contents, so you can use it for quick reference. But I just made my own little title page here. And then I went on to my future log where I just have June because that's when I started my bullet journaling. This is new to me. Journaling is not new. I have a lot of experience with that, and I love journaling. I'm a huge advocate for journaling. I think it's therapeutic and it helps you to stay organized. And bullet journaling, I've been obsessed with since I started. So I have June through September on this page, and I have some space to write some notes and key dates on this side of the page. And then I went on from October through December, and then just a few months starting off 2018, because I'm sure this book is going to carry through past December because there's quite a few pages in here, and I love the fact that the pages are numbered. It's got 249 pages, and I don't think I'm going to fill that out by December, but we'll see. So moving on to the first page, I was so excited about this. I did my goals for the year, and I think that's great because it's the first page when I actually look inside my notebook, and it's really easy to find so that I can go back and update this and also just keep in perspective what my goals are so I can really reach for them. And then I'll also update when I actually achieve those goals. And if you like my calligraphy and brush lettering, I've gotten a lot of questions on how I do it, how I learned, and some tips that I have, and I'm going to do a whole video dedicated to that. I want this to be kind of like fun and colorful on this page, so I didn't want to kind of restrict myself with any lines because I really want the goals to look nice, because that's an important page for me. I also have home projects because there's going to be a lot. I'm doing currently a lot with my filming room, which I'm in right now. This is, as you can see, my new fur rug that I got for my birthday, and I'll be doing a room tour soon, but I also have some other rooms in the house where there's going to be a lot of updates, so I left tons of room for that. Next, I have my monthly overview, and I just drew a calendar really nice and clean like that, and then I left some space at the bottom of the page where I can put some notes and also put some key dates or just anything that I want to remember for the month that I don't want to get lost on the weekly spreads. That is the monthly overview page. In each of these, I wanted to just take a couple little squares here to mark that it is June rather than do a big intro page. I kind of like having just a lot of information in smaller print on pages, so I just, in order to keep track of the months, once I fill this up, I just put little squares in the corner that mark it as June. I'm going to mark like holidays and things like that on here. I do write really small, so this is the perfect amount of space for me, but I have seen other people do calendars that stretch across both pages, so do whatever suits you. And then we're on to the weekly spreads where I did each of these different. That's just kind of my thing. I don't like to look at the same exact type of page every time. This one I have the 1st through the 10th. I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to use these pages, so I didn't leave much writing space between these. I really wanted to make it aesthetically appealing. So what I did was I just did like little like flag type deals here. My theme for the month was blue, so I used all blue for the month. That was a gel pen and also a highlighter. Right here I have designs that I really like the look of. This is thoughts and ideas, to do, and meals. I actually walked through this design with you guys in my last video, so if you want to check out how I did that, you can look at that. But I just separated this little note-taking section over here with the actual days, and I plan to just kind of write whatever is going on in the day in here, so we'll see how that goes. But moving on to the next page, this is a completely different style spread. Like, it looks completely different, and I actually leave more space for writing and then leave a little note section in the bottom right hand corner. I still have my little box for June. Okay, moving on to the next page. It's really simple, which is good as well. I just wrote in calligraphy, separated by little lines, and then we'll see which one I like best by the end of the month, but this one is really simple and easy to do. Moving on, I just have little boxes in this, completely different, and then on the side here I have notes, thoughts and ideas, meals, and plans for the month. And then I have my YouTube tracker. This is mostly for my upload schedule. Next to the dates where I would write the video that I'm working on, I also have sections where I can check off it's FEU, and that stands for filmed, edited, and uploaded. That's just the system that I use in my regular journal, so I just carry that over to my bullet journal. Also, I have a little section at the bottom of the page for progress, and that's where I will kind of track my subscribers and revenue, and again, going with the blue theme. Next up, I really like how these titles came out. This was totally experimental. I definitely drew in pencil before I did this just to make sure I liked the way it looked, because I just really wanted to start out this journal right and not make any mistakes. The first one is my video and blog ideas, which I've already filled out a little bit, and you can see how tiny that I write, but I just wanted to kind of start this off as an example to show you guys. Next up, we have little moments of June, and that's basically where I write anything that happens that's like special or memorable to me. I love tracking those because it's so easy in busy, hectic life to forget just the good times and the simple things. Even if it's something small, I like to fill out this page with it. Last up, we have the habit tracker for June, where I just made a little chart. I wanted to do my mood tracker like this, and I like keeping track of my habits on a vertical chart rather than a horizontal chart. I don't know, I guess it just makes it feel like I can see it better for some reason. The mood tracker, I don't really mind either way. And if I could combine these on the same page, I was really happy with that, because these are two things that I want to return to obviously on a daily basis, and I will probably leave these markers in here just to hold myself accountable and make sure I do so. But my personal habits that I want to keep track of are positivity, deep breathing, eating healthy, bullet journaling, meditation. I want to do at least 2 chores a day, which I do anyway, but it's just nice to at least hold myself accountable for that and then check the box off and just make sure that I'm productive each day. I just really like having some kind of household chore on this list. And then also Pilates. That one I'm really excited for because it's something I've been wanting to get back on track with anyway. The last 2 are just reading and writing. Writing more so in a journal, but I also want to write for the blog quite often. And then reading could be anything. It could be other blogs. It could be a book. It could be really anything. I just want to read every single day and just grow my knowledge. And then moving on to the mood tracker. I really like to keep a section for a word a day just to describe my mood, but I think I'm actually going to keep track of that on the weekly spreads where I just write at the bottom just a word to describe my mood. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. And then for this mood tracker, I just want to really see easily what's going on with my moods and how consistent it is. And obviously the goal is to be happy all the time, going back to my habit tracker, but I have the days marked horizontally, and then I have a column for percentage, which basically every day I'll just kind of ballpark the percentage that I would rank my mood, and then I'll just color in these boxes according to that. And then it's kind of almost like a bar graph where I'll be able to see the fluctuation in my mood from day to day. So that is the flip through portion of the video, and it just goes to show you that practice really does make a world of difference. Really like this notebook. I also forgot to mention that this is the dotted grid. All of these notebooks are dotted grid journals, which I am obsessed with, and I think I'll use that for any type of journaling at this point. This is one of the bags that I carry my supplies in. I actually have 3 that I'm going to show you, and this first one's brand new. I got it in FabFitFun, and I love it. It's huge. In here, I actually have some paper that I picked up, and this is just patterned paper that I plan to cut up and use as backgrounds for my bullet journal. Hobby Lobby has a ton of good crafts. This is just some sticky notes that I'll probably be using just sporadically throughout my journal. And then they had the best stickers. They had arrows, pineapples. They had some really cute bows that are black and gold, which are 2 of my favorite colors. And then we have hearts here that are beautiful. This might be actually my favorite. And then I have a bunch of washi tape here. I used the pineapple one in my last video. I've been obsessed with pineapples lately. That's basically all I use for this. This is more of like the crafty supplies, I guess you could say, that I don't use all the time. This, if you follow me on Instagram or if you see my other videos, you've seen this bag. I use it way too much. But this is where I keep all the pens that I use on a daily basis. And I'm going to go through those with you real quick. Okay, so these are the Zebra Mild Liner pens. And these are really nice highlighters, and they're double-sided. They also have different packs with different colors as well, but they are double-sided. This is a pointed tip for more precise highlighting. Then you have your classic slanted tip for the other side. I use those in the spreads that I just showed you. So I keep that in here, and I just keep them in the pack just to keep everything organized. I also have these Pigma Micron pens. I got a pack of them also from Amazon, and they're really nice. I like that they came with a variety of sizes for the tips, and that helps to create variation in your writing. These are the Jelly Roll pens. These are the metallic kind, and they're really pretty, but I'm not sure if I would recommend these too highly just because they can be a little bit messy and you have to wait for them to dry. Also, you can get a little bit too much ink spilling out of the tip, and they can get a little bit messy, so they're a little tricky to work with, but they're really, really pretty. So I don't regret getting them. I do like to use them. I would say get them just with this little disclaimer. Then I've been using these a lot. These are the Faber-Castell Hit pens, and these are also different sizes. I just feel it's easier to grab for these than these because I actually have to look at the sizes and dig through. These are labeled really nicely, so it's easy to pick up. They also dry really fast. They don't smudge. You can write in pencil and then go over top of it with these and then erase almost immediately, and this won't smudge. So I really like it for that purpose. I pretty much only use the small and the extra small. Moving on to my last bag. This is in a old whiskey bag, and I like it for this purpose because these Tombow dual brush pens are really long and they don't fit in the average bag. I keep them in here, and I have a bunch of colors. These are actually kind of hard to find in store, but you can find them online really easily. They're my favorite. If you're going for regular brush lettering pens, then I would definitely recommend those. I've tried other kinds and I just don't like them as much. So these are also dual-ended, where they have the brush tip that you see for classic brush lettering, and then you have the fine tip so you can just mix fonts or get more precise and clean up with the fine tip. And I do really like these. I don't use them too much for the bullet journaling yet, but I might do that in the future just to get more creative. So that's the supplies that I use. Now I just want to cover a couple tips. I'm going to go back to my setup just to explain myself with this. So originally when I started bullet journaling, in the first couple of videos, I just freehanded everything. I did not do anything in pencil, and I just noticed that this is a lot more clean and perfect since I used a pencil. You can see some erase marks, but this paper actually erases pretty nicely with just a cheap eraser. It doesn't get messed up or actually eat through the paper or kind of wear through it. So highly recommend just going in with a pencil before you do anything and just mapping out, at least to make sure that the spaces are even for everything that you're doing. it saves you time in the long run, because if you mess up, it's going to take you a lot more stress and effort to fix your mistakes. So that would be my first tip. Also, my other tip would be, like I said, to change up the pages and make them a little bit different, just to make them a little bit more fun. I also recommend definitely waiting for some of your ink to dry before flipping the page. Right here, I did have transfer on to this page when I was doing the dots with the jelly roll pens that I mentioned, and it was just a little bit thick over here, so it transferred, so I just covered that by doing the same to other lines. And that's what I would say too. If you make a mistake, then I would just keep repeating that mistake so it looks a little bit more natural and intentional. Another thing I would mention is just practice your handwriting. Practice is huge. I would recommend practicing a little bit each day. Like I said, in these notebooks, I did practice quite a bit, and this isn't even everything. I just did some things where I didn't like the way that it looked, and then I just learned what not to do. I experimented with washi tape. I got these dates completely wrong, and I'm glad I did that in my practice journal and not in my regular one. But I just played around with different spreads. I looked for inspiration on Instagram and YouTube. I just played around until I found out what I liked. I would recommend getting a couple of regular dotted grid notebooks that maybe you won't care as much about, and just practice with them before you actually go into a journal, because if you're anything like me, if I messed up the first couple pages, then I wouldn't even want to use this book at all. That's about all I have for you guys. That was my setup. That was my supplies. That was a couple tips that I have. And I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions or any requests, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to answer any questions that you guys have, and also just inspire you guys to get your own journal. And even if it's not a bullet journal, then just to start writing every day and just keeping track of your life and your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It would help me out a lot, and it would let me know to make more videos like this. So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.